Okay, so welcome to the 2025 seed starting season. So we're going to make up our own seed starting mix here. So just wanted to show you what we're doing. So we've got just a general purpose tray here from the hardware store. And I've got, well, today's unit of measure is going to be chock full of nuts, coffee can. Excuse me. Okay, so the sheep are out, and they're deciding they want to be involved in the video. So let's see if we can get them out of here. All right, there they go. Anyway, all right, back to it. We got a mixing tray, and I have 4 cans of Canada's finest sphagnum peat moss. So that's going to be our base. To that, we're going to add a half a can of fine vermiculite, a half a can of small, whatever, fine perlite. It's a little bit bigger size than the vermiculite. That is half a can. It's a bigger can. And about a half a can of rabbit and sheep beans with some decomposed hay in there with it. That's what we're going to be using kind of for our fertilizer. And so we're going to mix these all up and get it watered down to where you can just squeeze a few drops of water out of it. Make sure everything soaks in real well. And then we'll start potting some stuff up maybe this evening. And I forgot to add, we're also adding about 1 can of just our native soil. This isn't from in the garden or anything. It's just kind of the soil from out in the field. So hopefully that'll include some of the native inoculants or anything else. And so we're going to add that in here, get it mixed up real well, and wet it down. Okay, so here it is all mixed up. Dry still. Just mixed it all up dry to get it good and incorporated. And from the looks of it, I think it's going to need a little more perlite, but we'll get it wetted down and see what it feels like. The perlite helps add some structure, so we'll see what that's like. The vermiculite's really fine, so it kind of disappeared. So I'll probably add a little more of that as well, just to kind of keep those two in the same ratio. So let's get this wetted down and see what it's like. All right, so we've got it mixed up. Mixed it up pretty good. The perlite kind of broke down, so I do think I'm going to add a little more perlite. Got it wetted in, and if you squeeze, you can just get a few drops of water out of it. Probably put 1.25 gallons to 1.5 gallons of water in this. I'm shooting for about 5 gallons worth of potting mix. But I do think I'm going to throw a little more perlite in, mostly because what I added broke up as I squeezed it. The sphagnum moss is a little hydrophobic, so it's hard to get it to absorb water initially. So I was kind of squeezing it and mixing it together, and I kind of broke the perlite up quite a bit, which is fine because now it's closer to the grain size that the vermiculite was. But I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more handfuls, mix that in gently, and then I'm going to let this sit for a while to soak up as much water as it will. I think it's going to hold a little more water than it currently is, so I might need to add a little more before we pot up, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to collect our potting trays and some of the potting supplies and let this sit for maybe half an hour or so. All right, so this has sat for about half an hour, maybe a little more. Found our trays, got them cleaned up, and you can see now, if I get a fistful and squeeze it, I can barely get a drop out. So it's definitely absorbed the rest of that water. I think it's still good enough for now. I can still squeeze a drop out. So we're going to go ahead and plant these little guys up, or, fill them with soil. And we're going to start our peppers in these. And then I'm going to get some red solo cups and we will start our tomatoes in those. These we're not going to want to keep filling up with soil. The red cups will fill about halfway, and then as the tomato grows, we'll put a little more soil around it till it gets up to the top of the cup, and then it'll be ready to go outside by then. So let me get these all filled up. All right, so didn't have as many of these little square ones as I thought. Plus, they don't quite fit in a 10-20 tray either, so not a big deal. So we got, 10 of those? No, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of those. So I did like 5 more red cups. These we used last year, these cups, and we cut some slits in the bottom. This year I added some little triangles around the outside to make sure we get good drainage. I think those slits got kind of plugged up last year, and we might have got some soggy roots. So this is going to be the first tray that we plant up. And yeah, that's probably going to be it for tonight, because as you can see, the sun is going down. Anyway, so yeah, so these are filled about 3/4, maybe a little more, and tamped down. These are filled most of the way up and tamped down. Like I said, we'll drop the seeds in there and top dress them with a little perlite, and that'll be all we're doing. The tomatoes, like I said, I'll probably only fill the cups about halfway to start, and we'll get the seeds a little closer to the heat mat. And then we can just add soil as the plant grows, and it will spring new roots out of its stalk. Tomatoes will do that. Peppers, not so much, from what I understand anyway. So these got kind of filled up, and this way they can grow what they're going to grow before they need to be up potted or taken out. Hopefully just taken out. But there we go. That is the start. Okay, so here we are. We got these 2 trays planted up. This tray is all tomatoes. We put 2 seeds in each cup, and we have 6 cups of Amish paste tomatoes. And we have 6 cups of Cherokee Purple. We got all the seeds here from M.I. Gardner, and also kind of the recipe for the seed starting and the technique. So, and then in this one, we got all of our peppers. Starting on this side, we got some purple cayennes, some paprikas, 3 cups of paprikas, 2 seeds in each. We did 4 of these little cups of ancho grandes. And then we have Anaheim's, Big Reds, and Chiltepen, something like that. Anyway, little red peppers. We got some of those from Native Seed Source a couple of years ago. It kind of started to grow, but then it got overpowered by another tomato plant, I think, or something. It got shaded out though, so it didn't do too well. So these are all on the heat pad. And then we also have, new to our seed starting, this big shop light. So we're hoping that's going to keep our seeds from being too leggy this year, our seedlings. Then everything is top dressed with about 1/4 inch of perlite, nice and light for the seeds to poke up through. So we will keep you updated on how this goes. Don't forget to mulch that like button, and we'll see you in the next one.